Urgent Dallas Cowboys fans. Do not miss this. What just happened? You won't believe this one. But before we reveal the big news, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because here, we bring you daily videos with the latest Dallas Cowboys updates. And to not miss anything, activate the notifications. Alright, folks, today we're diving into a story that's been making waves across the NFL universe, and of course, the Dallas Cowboys community is buzzing about it. It's one of those reports that come out of nowhere, and suddenly, everyone's asking, could this really be happening? Is Dallas about to make a big move? And honestly, if you're a Cowboys fan, you're going to want to stay tuned, because what I'm about to tell you might just change the game for Dallas this offseason. Now, let's set the scene. We all know how important the secondary is in today's NFL. You've got to have lockdown corners, versatile safeties, and a defense that can adapt on the fly. The Cowboys, with their rich defensive history, have always prioritized that, especially in recent years. But, as we all know, roster moves don't just happen by chance. They're driven by rumors, reports, and sometimes, outright speculation. And right now, one of the hottest topics involving the Cowboys is the potential trade of a star player, cornerback Jalen Ramsey. You might have seen that ESPN, specifically Jeremy Fowler, recently released a report suggesting that Ramsey could be on the move, with a handful of teams interested in acquiring him. Among those teams, the ones that caught the most attention were the Miami Dolphins, the Los Angeles Rams, and, yes, the Washington Commanders. But here's the thing, when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys, the story gets a little murky. Multiple sources close to Cowboys country, a site that's been reliable in NFL scoops, have come out saying that the whole idea of Dallas being interested in Ramsey is, frankly, nonsense. That's right, completely false. And you might be wondering, why would ESPN even include Dallas in such a list? Well, it's not new for rumors to swirl around big-name players like Ramsey, especially when they're coming off a high-profile season. But let's clarify something right now. The Cowboys have not been linked to any serious negotiations for Ramsey. The story seems to have originated with Fowler's report, which, as many of us noted at the time, was highly speculative. The media loves to stir the pot, especially when it involves high-profile players and blockbuster trades. But in this case, there's no concrete evidence to suggest Dallas has any interest in trading for Ramsey. However, what's interesting, and this is where things get intriguing, is that Cowboys fans should keep an eye on certain developments. For example, Cowboys Country. Has reported that Ramsey has recently purchased property in Fort Worth, in the Dallas area. Now, on the surface, that might seem like a small detail, but for fans who follow the off-field moves of their players, it's a sign that Ramsey might be considering a future in Dallas. But, of course, buying property doesn't automatically mean he's headed here. It could be for any number of reasons. Maybe he's just investing, maybe he likes the area, or perhaps he's simply shopping around. Either way, it's a story that adds some flavor to the narrative. But let's back up a bit. The real story here isn't just about whether Dallas is interested in Ramsey, it's about the bigger picture. Because, folks, if you look at the NFL landscape right now, the trade rumors involving Ramsey are a reflection of the shifting dynamics across the league. The Dolphins, for example, have been trying to bolster their secondary, especially after acquiring Ramsey last season and giving him a 3-year, $72 million extension. That's a significant investment for Miami, and now, with the team looking to contend and the GM Chris Grier openly shopping Ramsey, it's clear they're trying to maximize their window. But Ramsey himself has made it known that he's open to a trade if it means competing for a Super Bowl. That's no secret. He's been quite vocal about his desire to be part of a team that has championship aspirations. So, naturally, the Dolphins are in the mix, but the other teams, like the Rams and Commanders, are also in the conversation. The Rams, after all, have a history with Ramsey. He played there previously under coach Sean McVay, and reports have suggested that a reunion could be on the table. That makes sense. McVay is known for valuing versatile defensive backs, and Ramsey fits perfectly into that mold. Now, the Washington Commanders, here's where things get really interesting. Reports from ESPN suggested that the Commanders are also interested in Ramsey, especially considering their recent surge into the NFC playoffs and their ambitions to finally break through and reach the Super Bowl for the first time in decades. The idea is that acquiring a player of Ramsey's caliber could be the missing piece that pushes them past the Philadelphia Eagles, who have been dominant in NFC East lately. But the thing is, this report might be more hypothetical than real, and multiple sources have indicated that the connection between Ramsey and the Commanders is more of a speculative link than an imminent deal. And here's a thought: if the Cowboys were to consider a trade for Ramsey, how would that even look? Dallas has a solid secondary, but adding a player of Ramsey's caliber could elevate the entire unit. Remember, the Cowboys' defense has been a cornerstone of their success in recent seasons, but injuries and inconsistency have sometimes held them back. A player like Ramsey, who's a proven Pro Bowler and one of the best in the league in man coverage, could be the catalyst to take this defense to the next level. It's not just about adding talent, it's about changing the entire dynamic of the team's secondary, making it more aggressive, more versatile. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. As much as fans might dream about landing Ramsey, the reality is that NFL trades are complex, involving draft picks, salary cap considerations, and team strategies. The Cowboys, under GM Jerry Jones and head coach Mike McCarthy, are always looking for ways to improve, but they tend to be cautious with big-name trades unless it makes sense both on and off the field. So, at this point, it's safe to say that the rumors about Dallas trading for Ramsey are just that, rumors. There's no concrete evidence, no credible reports, just speculation fueled by the offseason buzz. And that's what makes this offseason so exciting. Every day, new rumors pop up, new players are linked to different teams, and fans are left speculating about what might happen next. But one thing is certain: the Dallas Cowboys are always in the mix, whether it's for signing free agents, making trades, or developing their own young talent. The team has a strong core, with players like Micah Parsons, CeeDee Lamb, and Tony Pollard leading the charge, but the front office isn't resting on its laurels. They're always looking for ways to get better, and if a top-tier cornerback like Ramsey becomes available, you can bet they'll be monitoring that situation closely. Now, speaking of the current Cowboys roster, let's take a moment to appreciate what this team has achieved in recent years. They've been a playoff fixture, consistently competing in a tough NFC. The defense, especially, has been a highlight, with Parsons emerging as one of the league's most disruptive pass rushers and Trayvon Diggs continuing to develop into a shutdown corner. The offense, led by Dak Prescott, remains potent, especially with the addition of a healthy Tony Pollard and the emergence of CeeDee Lamb as one of the league's elite wide receivers. But as we all know, to take that next step and contend for a Super Bowl, Dallas needs to refine every aspect of their roster. And that brings us back to the potential trade rumors involving Ramsey. If that were to happen, it would be a bold statement, signaling that the Cowboys are all in on trying to bring a championship back to Dallas. But, again, it's important to emphasize that at this moment, there's no confirmed interest from the Cowboys front office. It's mostly speculation, fueled by the media and fans eager for a splash move. But it's worth noting that Dallas has historically been cautious with big trades, preferring to build through the draft and develop their young talent. Still, if a player of Ramsey's caliber became available, it would be hard for any team to ignore the opportunity. Now, for all the Cowboys fans out there, I know you're eager for updates, and I promise to keep you informed as things unfold. The NFL offseason is always full of surprises, and the Cowboys are no strangers to making bold moves when the opportunity arises. Whether it's upgrading the secondary, adding a veteran presence, or drafting a future star, the team is always looking to improve. And while the Ramsey rumors may be just that, rumors, they remind us of how hungry this team is for a Super Bowl. So, as we watch this offseason develop, keep your eyes peeled on the Dallas Cowboys. The team has a lot of potential, a strong foundation, and the desire to finally get over the hump. Whether or not Ramsey ends up in Dallas, one thing's for sure: the Cowboys are always in the mix, always fighting to bring home that elusive Lombardi trophy. And I'll be here, bringing you all the latest updates, breaking down every move, and analyzing what it all means for the team's future. Because for Cowboys fans, the journey never ends, and every offseason is another chapter in the quest for greatness. And now, Dallas Cowboys fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on all these rumors? Do you think Dallas should make a move for Ramsey if the opportunity presents itself? Or do you believe they're better off building through the draft and developing their current roster? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cowboys' future. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Dallas Cowboys news. This offseason is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory, and I can't wait to see what happens next. Thanks for sticking with me, and as always, go Cowboys!